Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Temari from CZT Hiromi Fukuoka. I hope I pronounced that right. Hope it's at least close. All right. This is a neat tangle. Going for simple today. I have to make a category that's just called simple because it's nice to have these in your brain on hand one way or the other, just so that way you have them when you want just something easy and quick. And this fits both, and it's cute. All right, so I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm just gonna start right here. So it's just an orb, and then you can play with it, add as many as you want, and that's what's extra fun about it. All right, then once you have your orb, now here's something that I played with, and you'll see it on my step out in Hiromi's step out. We're gonna put two curve lines, basically putting a V in here, and it went like this curve line, and then yeah, the same, and kind of a curve, two curve lines curving in the same direction, and that's neat. And then we're gonna do some rounding here, so just a little curve line up here at the top of the V on both sides of that line that the curve line that we just added, and then fill them in. And so on my step out, and it was just kind of out of habit, I did curve line going one direction, curve line going the opposite direction. And it'll turn out fine, but the interesting thing that I found was what it does is it brings the two lines together up a little higher than this does. So just something to be aware of, something to think about. Like I said, we can all put our own take on these tangles, which is what's so fun. But I thought, oh, that's neat, and it yeah, and you'll take a look at my step out, and you'll see what I mean. And it, like I said, it could just it creates a little bit different look, which is neat. It's neat that something so simple can, like, oh, look at that. All right, so then um I'm assuming it's playtime at this point, because in um Hiromi's step out, uh the red part ends. So usually the red part in the tangle. Now I've seen some that haven't put any red, but usually the red means that's what you do, and then you go from there. So and um, what I saw that Hiromi did was to add in some of these, kind of like plant like, or not plant like. I mean, they could look um, like veins in a plant, or it's just, I don't know. It's a neat look putting these little uh, extra curved lines in the center. Now, as I mentioned, what's extra fun about this is adding more orbs. And so I'm going to do that right here. So I mean, that is essentially the tangle. There is one variation, actually two. One where you could put a little kind of copy this, put it in here, and then it would make it look like a heart. And you could do that in the three of them. And Hiromi added some more of a teardrop shape than an orb. In mine, I left it like this and just added orbs at the top, just as an additional way to play. So whatever you want is fine. All right. So I'm just gonna play here for a little bit. And so what was neat is, if as you play, and I'm putting these together and having the little V's, the big V's, I should say, touch at the same point here. Whoops. This is not always. It is my usual issue sometimes with the rounding. Oh, look at how I fixed that real nice. Where I put I just went too fast. Here's curve line. Here's another curve line, and and the the tip of those two missed the line, but it's okay because you just, just use some course correction and it's all good. Okay, so something else that can be done with this, actually, I'm going to put another big one right here, is you can kind of use the hollowbow technique like so, where, this is being essentially drawn underneath. And then let's see if I can get this down in that center. And I am trying to do the curves going the same way. It's funny when you do something different, and then it's like you can't. It's almost like that song that you can't get out of your head, and it's like, oh, I want to do these the same direction. Why is it seeming so hard? Who knows? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and we'll add these little lines. And what's neat about these, and I've shared that in some other tangles, is that, as you can see, it's kind of disguising the edges of the orb. And even these lines, it's just making the center just one thing, which is really, really neat. Then, oh, let's see. Oh, I'll just add another big one right here. Because it's like, oh, this is a little off center. Oh, though, you could add a stem, and then look at and if I colored it green, we'd have a shamrock. But let's add one more. So what's neat is, you could create a neat flowery shape with this. Now, I do encourage you, take a look at the for more inspiration link, which that'll take you to Tangle Patterns, yes, because that's where I found this one. And the story behind the name is neat. It's just super interesting. So do give that a read, and then also you can take a look at Hiromi's work for yourself. Sometimes course correcting, as I'm trying to do here, takes on a life of its own. I try not to make it do that, but some days. Let's get this little, okay. There we go. That's a little nicer. And then, I didn't see that one right there until now. Okay. I like to have them merge and blend in as much as possible. That is just me being me. You do you. It's all good. But isn't that neat? Then if you wanted to, you could add little side ones if you wanted to. And you could grow on forever, however you want to do your take on it. And it is just a lot of fun. All right. So as I finish these little bits up, if you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you did, would love to have a thumbs up, or a like, whichever way it shows up on your device. Would also feel free to share it, and if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, it would be an honor for me if you were to decide to subscribe to my channel. I will let you know I do post every day at least a quickie. Now, and sometimes I'm and then if I'm getting caught up on these, I'll post the replays to my live sessions, the free ones anyway. And so some days there may be more than one. I mention that because if you're like me, I don't like having my phone or my device blowing up with notifications. So there is the notification bell, and it's funny because most channels are like, oh, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post something. And I would love it, if you want to do that, that's great. But I know myself, and I just like to make sure to let other people know. You get to decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified. So I would hate to have you not subscribe or unsubscribe because you're like, oh, that Heather, boy, she's always posting. I'm always getting, my phone's always blowing up. I would hate to have that happen. So that's why I mention it, just so you know. I do post every day. And if you don't want your phone blowing up, then make sure to select no notifications. And then you just come back, right? And that's what I do. And then I look at who I subscribe to and see what I feel like watching. And that's what I do. All right, let's add a little bit of shading here. And of course, these little guys on the side, I'm going to hit those first because they can be tucked underneath. we'll get those guys first. And being that it's nice out here in Michigan where I'm at, I've just been kind of in a flowery mood. I try to make sure to have some variety because sometimes for me it's easy to get stuck in a rut. All right, let's see. I did these two first, so these two are kind of behind. So we'll put a little extra graphite there, but then we'll have a little bit coming out of this center as well. And then of course it's just occurring. Well, no, I could still do it. Never mind. It's occurring to me. Oh, I could work on making them look round. Oh, but look at the depth that created. Oh, neat. All right, let's do. So having a little bit of graphite in here is good. Let's put a little bit up at the tip. Can always go back and add more. That's my philosophy. Also, we don't put any erasers in our kit nor rulers, so I subscribe not to use them, even when I'm just tangling for fun versus for meditative reasons. Although I think that's the way I usually tangle is for fun anyway. The meditative benefit is a side effect, which is an awesome side effect. There's just such great peace that comes when you are just focused in on what you're doing in your tangle, and you just can't help but feel relaxed afterwards, and then on top of it have such a sense of accomplishment and fun by creating some really cool art. Oh no, hold on my camera. In real life it doesn't look so gray, but on my camera it's like, oh, it looks like it's all gray. Okay, so that means let's do this. Let's go a little thicker, a little darker, just to get some contrast. It does not look all 100% gray on in real life here. So let's do this. I'm going to use the smaller tortillon. Oh, you can see already it defined it a little bit better. So sometimes I'll do that, and I'm not necessarily going to bring out that darker part anymore. I just want to darken that edge. It already has a nice gradient. That's what I was working to develop. And then sometimes that darker gradient just, well, and it doesn't help with, depends on the camera, where it just ends up looking all gray. But just having a little darker on this edge, I am working to not have it be a little straight line. There we go. Oh, yes. There we go. Neat. Neat, neat, neat. Love it. Who knew? Some orbs and some curve lines could look so cute. So, I hope you enjoy this. I appreciate you watching. Also, remember in the description section, you'll find those step out links. Also, ways to connect with me. So if you'd like to join for a live class, would love to have you. There's other ways to connect with me on there. Would love to to connect with you and tangle, and I like, it's fun to see what everybody does, and it's fun to also grow the community of happy tanglers, and would love to like I said, would love to have you connect. All right, so with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.